Welcome back everyone to another video. Today, I want to wish you guys a happy Labor Day. I want to talk about a few things, what's going on in the stock market, and more specifically, what stocks I'm buying going into next week. Now, it is, I guess, Tuesday morning, so about 1 a.m. Tuesday, and I want to talk about what's going on in the market right now. And there's a lot to uncover. So, we've been in a high interest rate environment for a long time now. We had a big downturn in 2022 due to the Fed hiking rates, and now we're about to see the opposite. The Fed's going to start cutting rates. We don't know how aggressively yet. It's going to depend on economic data. So, what does this mean for stocks? And it really depends what kind of stocks you're invested in. Now, these consumer stocks that have been getting hammered and just really underperforming the market. Let's take a look here let's look at Nike, for example. Let's look at the 5-year chart on Nike. Horrible, down 1%. Oh, I don't know what happened. Down 1% on the 5-year chart. And that's really rare to see with a high quality company like Nike. So you take a look at, automakers. Let's look at Tesla. And Tesla is not just an automaker, but I'm just trying to give an example here because it is affected by interest rates. People have to take loans to buy cars, houses, stuff like that. So it does have a big impact, and obviously it's up a lot, but from its highs, the auto sales have been slowing down. So high interest rates have put a lot of stress on these sectors. Now, when the Fed starts cutting rates, which I believe is going to be this month, I'm hoping they start cutting more aggressively because I believe our economy is slowing down. We're in a slowing economy. That's just the facts. And they have no reason to go super slow paced. I don't know why they're scared to overcut. Like, that's going to happen, but hopefully we get a 50 basis points cut. We'll probably get a 25 basis points cut. We'll see. I'm sure I'll make a video on that whenever the whole meeting occurs. But enough jibber jabber about what's going on in the market. Nvidia announced earnings last week. Made a video with my chef hat. It was a big day, the Super Bowl for the stock market, and I'm excited for the next quarter. Now, I want to talk about what stocks I'm buying this week. Number one is going to be Google. Now, I would not be afraid to make Google one of my number one positions. I'm sitting at 18 shares right now. I'd love to get up to 20, 25, 30, 50 eventually, especially at these levels. So let's talk about Google. Now, there's been a lot of fear and negative sentiment when it comes to Google stock. But to me, this just presents a great buying opportunity. I mean, look at this dip. It's lovely. Not quite as good as the 2022 dip, but we take what we get. Now, Google is growing revenues at 13% year over year. That's pretty impressive. It's constantly beating EPS estimates, and EPS stands for earnings per share, by the way. It's a leader in search. It's going to continue to be a leader in AI. Now, a lot of the fear has come from the Department of Justice, the DOJ. And people are worrying that they're going to, let me get rid of Tesla up here. They're worried that they're going to break up Google, and it's going to cause a disruption to their monopoly and stuff like that. Now, I'm not really worried about that. I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does, I believe Google's going to be worth more. I mean, could you imagine if they had to create spin-off companies? Like YouTube has its own stock, Google Ads has its own stock, Google Search has its own stock. I mean, you'd become an owner of so many companies. That's amazing. I'm really not opposed to that happening. So, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, besides that, it's sitting at a 4 PE of 21. 21. And compared to its peers in the Mag 7, and just honestly amongst the market right now, especially during this semiconductor / AI boom, you got one of the top players sitting at a 4 PE of 21. So to me, it's just a no-brainer buy. I'm going to be buying some of this week. And number two on the list, Nvidia, the GOAT. The GOAT! Posted solid earnings. Stock goes down. Classic Wall Street. You guys know the deal. Tesla can produce a horrible quarter, and the stock moons 15, 20%. I believe that happened in their last quarter, the one before last. I made a video covering that. It's just what Wall Street does. Now, Nvidia, like I talked about last video, it had sky high expectations. growing revenues at 100+% annually. The show can't go on like that. Now, Nvidia, what people have wrong with Nvidia, what people are going wrong. Nvidia is going to continue to grow faster than any of these Mag 7 companies, okay? So people are freaking out and selling Nvidia over, oh, well, they're not going to be able to keep up and grow 100% plus annually. You're right, they won't. They can't just grow infinitely. The bigger company you get, the harder it is to grow. We've already talked about this. You guys know this. Now, does that mean it's going to go from 100% revenue growth to a negative revenue growth? No. And it's not pricing in that. But all this news and energy is acting like Nvidia's growth is just like crashing, and that's not the case. Now the revenue isn't going to grow 120% this year, but who knows, maybe it grows 50%. 20% plus, in my opinion, is guaranteed. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw 50 to 60% revenue growth. But the growth is not gonna stop, you guys. You got to realize this, okay? The fact of the matter is this: Nvidia makes the best-in-class AI chips. There is no competitor. Yeah, you got AMD. Intel's a joke. AMD is a joke, okay? Everything is a joke compared to Nvidia. Nvidia is a top dog. I'm not trying to glaze Nvidia. I know I'm getting blue lips right now, but you guys gotta consider, when you look at all these other big companies' earnings calls talking about how they're building all these data centers. You got Amazon, Microsoft, all these people building these data centers, and their data center count is multiplying, not just increasing rapidly like I highlighted here. It's multiplying, going from hundreds of data centers to thousands of data centers. And what do you need for these data centers? You need NVIDIA's GPUs, and their GPUs are going to get increasingly better and better and better, more expensive, and able to handle more compute. And that's what we need right now, is more computing power. So it's an obvious buy, you guys. Under $125. I think Nvidia's fair value right now is around 125, 130. I like it under 125. So for this reason, I'm buying Nvidia. These two stocks, you can't go wrong. I need to get Nvidia a bigger position in my portfolio. Right now, it's sitting at not even 8%. I need to get this bad boy up to at least 10%, at least. So that's about it, you guys. We're down a little bit on the overnight trading. Not worried about that. Year to date, up 14%. I'm going to make a video this week discussing some personal matters, some careers that I'm looking into. I'm really looking into finance and finding a career in investment banking, maybe a financial advisor or portfolio manager. Really not sure yet. We're still trying to figure that out, but that's a video for another day. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any comments or recommendations or just things you want to talk about, feel free to comment or reach out. My Instagram is the same as my YouTube name. I love to talk about this stuff. This stuff's truly my passion. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video later on this week.